Adobe. So you're wanting to go up to $70 a month for the Creative Cloud with all apps, huh? And you still want to charge me like $50 a month for Photoshop? Yeah, I got news for you on this one. You want to stick around for this. So Adobe, you finally shot yourself in the foot. Okay. So as somebody who runs a creative agency and a pretty large creative agency that employs about 10 people, I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing here. And for years, we've been using Adobe, right? We've been using Adobe for years. And, but guess what? As of this morning, that relationship has come to an end. Adobe, you've kind of shoved it up my ass one too many times. Asking $70 a month for this with this subscription model, you're kind of crazy. Okay. You were kind of pushing it at like $30 to $40 a month because most of your products are replaceable. Okay. Truth is, in 2025, nobody really needs most of your products anymore. And you're still acting like the world owes you something. Well, the truth is, the world doesn't owe you a thing, Adobe. This is the problem with these big tech companies. These tech companies begin to think like the whole world owes them something, like the whole world owes them a dime. We owe them an existence. Well, here's the thing, Adobe. What does anybody actually owe you? Maybe you owe us something in return, like giving us good products at an affordable price that we can all actually use. There's no need for Photoshop. You can use GIMP, right? You can use, Capture One to replace Lightroom. Most of the time your products are just useless. And here's the problem. You think they're invaluable. Well, here's the thing, the reality with this, Adobe, is in 2025, you think you're irreplaceable. Well, you're not. And that irreplaceable mentality that you're getting is nothing more than greedy ass tech company entitlement. And it doesn't sit well with the average person. Now there might be a whole generation of people out there who feel like they're entitled to things. And, Adobe, you've been sued numerous times over the past few years for bullshit because you just hadn't been making good decisions. Well, Adobe, it's time you start making some good decisions. When I woke up this morning and I saw that price increase to $70 a month, I went in there and canceled every single one of my subscriptions. Canceled them. Told my team that there's other alternatives out there. You see, here's the thing. The market's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And yet you're going to jack the price up for North American users to like $70 a month. What are we getting for it? You want to jack the price up. Look, here's the thing. When I go to my clients and I jack the price up on something, I better damn well be ready to justify why I'm jacking up that price. I can't just say, well, I'm entitled to it and do it. That's not how this works, Adobe. So, Adobe, let me tell you something. This little attitude of entitlement and making it difficult for people to cancel their subscriptions and, still charging them even after they give up on this product. Adobe, you've been doing some real shady things for years. And apparently, those shady things at Adobe are still continuing to this day. And you won't stop. You haven't learned your lesson. Because Adobe, you've got this idea that you're entitled and too big to fail. Well, guess what? In 2025, with the North American economy being in shambles right now, and we all know it is, despite what the image that we're trying to put out there on TikTok and on YouTube and everything else, that we're the poster child for wealth and prosperity. The truth is, if you're running agencies like I run an agency like I am, you're pretty happy with the work that you put out. The margins are still pretty small. And when you got to pay $70 for Creative Cloud to a company that's just taking advantage of you, you don't see the justification anymore. So, Adobe, I'm out. And I think you owe us an explanation. Now, I understand you're probably going to come back and say that labor is expensive, innovation is expensive, all this and that. But what have you actually innovated over the years, Adobe? What was the last real innovation you actually ever brought to the table, Adobe? It's been a real long time. And I think you should probably go and look at yourself in the mirror and think about that long and hard before you go and jack this price up. Because when I saw that this morning and I saw that on November 28, 2025, we were going up to $70 a month per license, I said, I'm done. I made the executive decision to say that we're going to cancel this. I'm not paying over $1,000 a month for all my Adobe license. Not going to happen. Not when you sit there and give us nothing in return and you just pretend now like you're the only game in town. Well, you're not. Let this be a warning to the other tech companies out there who think that they're entitled, who think that they belong, who think that their customers are just going to give them a free ride and pay whatever they want. That answer is no. Another good example of this is I live in Texas. We have a beloved grocery store here in Texas called HEB. I avoid HEB like the plague because HEB is taking this entitled mentality. Like the people of Texas owe them an existence for what they do or whatever. Well, the truth is I can buy the same groceries at Walmart for a hell of a lot cheaper. I've proved that time after time. So here's the thing. You can put lipstick on the pig all you want. Doesn't make it a pretty woman. It's still just a pig, ain't it? So let me put it to you like this. Ain't nobody gonna buy this thing. Ain't nobody in their right mind gonna stick around. And the ones that do stick around are just gonna complain about it. And they're gonna buy into it because they're loyalists. But those loyalists aren't gonna keep you afloat, especially in a world where there's a lot more products and a lot more options to choose from. Well, you know what? I think that day has come, Adobe, that the reckoning finally takes place because you're just not making it happen. And for those of you who are sick and tired of being held captive to companies like Adobe, it's time we speak up. It's time we let them know that they're not entitled to our loyalty. Our loyalty has limits. You see, they're starting to run this thing just like an overseas scammer, thinking that they're giving us all this stuff in return when all reality is they're just giving us nothing. Nothing but peanuts. Nothing but a joke. Nothing but a bigger credit card bill. And that's pretty disgusting. So, Adobe, from a longtime user to you, it hasn't been nice knowing you. And it hasn't necessarily been nice doing business with you. But it sure is good telling you to frick off. Because you know what? The time has come at $70 a month for me to tell you, peace, I'm out. I wish you the best in your failures. Because you're just as ignorant as American Airlines and other businesses who think that they're entitled to our loyalty. You're not entitled to anything. You have to earn the business. It's not just going to come to you.